Alright, this is the Unit 1 and 2 EOC review video number 2, which goes through P13, problem 13 through P24. Alright, starting with number 13. The coordinates of the endpoints of PQ are blank, and that P and Q right there. M is the midpoint of PQ, and then N is the midpoint of MQ. What are the coordinates of N? So let's draw out this segment. So it could be, like it's probably not going to be a horizontal line, so let's kind of draw it out like this. I do this to kind of signify that it is probably going to be a slanted line in the coordinate plane if you drew it out. Okay, PQ right here, and then I know M is the midpoint of PQ. Okay, but then I also know that N is the midpoint of MQ. Alright, so first, if I'm trying to find the coordinates of point N, so the first thing I need to do is find the coordinates of point M, okay? And then since N is I can do that using the midpoint formula. And then since N is the midpoint of MQ, I can then again use the midpoint formula on M and Q and get that N coordinates. So first, let's find the midpoint. Let's find the coordinates for point M. M is the midpoint of PQ, so we take P and Q and plug them into the midpoint formula, which is midpoint is add up the x's divided by 2, so negative 3 plus 9 over 2, and then negative 2 plus positive 2 over 2. Okay, now I'll simplify this. Negative 3 plus 9, that would give me positive 6 over 2 would be 3. Negative 2 plus 2 is equal to 0 divided by 2 is of course 0. 0 divided by anything is 0. So my midpoint M has coordinates 3, 0. So to find N now, we'll do the midpoint of Q, which is 9, 2, and then M, which is 3, 0. So 9 plus 3 divided by 2, and 2 plus 0 divided by 2. Simplifying this, 9 plus 3 is 12, divided by 2 is 6, and then 2 plus 0 is 2, divided by 2 is 1. So 6, 1 would be my answer here, or D. Okay, number 14. The midpoint M of AC has coordinates 2, 5. Point C has coordinates 4, 3. What are the coordinates of point D? Here we're going to do. Okay. I know that M is the midpoint of AC, so M is in the middle. Okay. We happen to know the coordinates of M to be 2, 5. C has coordinates 4, 3. And then I don't know the coordinates of point, I'm looking for A, excuse me, not D. So the coordinates of point A, we don't know them, so let's call them X, comma, Y. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my endpoints, A and C, and plug them into the midpoint formula. Okay, so X plus 4 over 2, Y plus 3 over 2. So this formula would give me the midpoint if I knew point A, right? However, I do know what the midpoint actually is. So whatever this thing right here, since it gives me the midpoint, it will be equal to 2, 5. All right. So what I can do is I have two different equations I can make by setting the x coordinate equal to the x coordinate right here. So x plus 4 over 2 is equal to 2. Y plus 3 over 2 is equal to 5. Now to solve this, we're going to multiply both sides by 2. So x plus 4 equals 4. Okay, now subtract 4 from both sides, you get x is equal to 0. And then do the same thing over here, multiply both sides by 2. You get y plus 3 is equal to 10. Subtract 3 from both sides, y is equal to 7. So my midpoint has coordinates 0, 7. Next. Point Q lies on segment AB. What definition, property, or postulate justifies the statement AQ plus QB equals AB? Okay, so you basically have a segment AB, and then Q is somewhere on there. So you're saying that AQ plus QB is equal to AB. Segment addition postulate, people. Segment addition postulate. This says I can add segments to get a bigger segment. In the proof below, what is the reason in step 2? Step 2 right here. If these are vertical angles, we know they're congruent by the vertical angles theorem. Okay, in the figure, M is parallel to N, and line R is a transversal of lines M and N. Okay. What justifies the conclusion that angle 4 is congruent to angle 6? This would be the alternate interior angles theorem, because 4 and 6 are alternate interior angles. Those are congruent when the two lines are parallel. Alright, in this figure, lines M is parallel to N and line T is a transversal for that. So which of the following pairs of angles must be congruent? So let's look at the first one, 2 and 5. Are 2 and 5 congruent? No, you can obviously see one is an acute, one is an obtuse angle, so it can't be that one. Angle 3 and angle 5. These are congruent because they are alternate interior angles. Awesome. Next, angle 4 and angle 2. Those are also congruent. These are vertical angles. Angle 6 and angle 1. Those are not. Obviously, you can see one's obtuse, one's acute. Can't choose that one. And then let's look at angle A to N2. Again, those are alternate interior angles, so those are also congruent. So we have 3. What do we choose here? Number 20. In the figure, M is parallel to N. All right. Given that the measure of angle 3 is 4x minus 7, and the measure of angle 5 is 6x minus 81, let's find the measure of angle 8. I don't know how to do that yet. First thing I need to do is find x. So these two are 5 and 3 are alternate interior angles, so they are equal. So 6x minus 81 is equal to 4x minus 7. Subtract 4x from both sides. Add 81 to both sides. 81 minus 7 is 76. So x is equal to 30. Oh, what did I do wrong? I did some subtraction wrong. Give me a second. $74, not 76 right here. That's why. So this will be equal to 37 degrees. Cool. Oh no, hold up. 24 divided by 2. Give me a second. It's still 37. Alright, cool. So x is equal to 37, not degrees, excuse me. So, if I find the measure of angle 5, I know it's supplementary with angle 8. So, 6 times 37 minus 81. Okay. Let's see. That gives me 141 degrees. So then the measure of angle 8 is just 180 minus 41, which is 39 degrees. Number 21. Angle R, in the figure, angle R is a transversal to lines P and Q. Notice that I don't know that P and Q are parallel. I do know that the measure of angle 2, however, is 63 degrees. And the measure of angle 8 is 63 degrees. Okay, so boom, they're congruent because of that. And then from there, we know 2 and 4 are vertical angles. Okay, so from the transitive property, I know that 4 and 8 are congruent. Okay, so these are corresponding angles. Okay. Now, to be able to say that since those are congruent, since the corresponding angles are congruent, we can say that the lines are parallel by the converse of the corresponding angles postulate. This tells us that we use this to show that lines are parallel. The converses are to show that lines are parallel. Number 22. Line L passes through the points negative 4, 3, and 2, 1. What is the slope of a line that's perpendicular to L? So first let's find the slope of L. So we'll do the slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That gives me negative 2 over 6, which simplifies to negative 1 over 3. Okay, remember the y's have to go on the top, people. So the perpendicular slope would be opposite reciprocal of negative 1/3, which would be 3. Number 23. Which of the following is an equation for a line that is parallel to the graph shown? So this is a negative slope, I notice right here. All right, so I'm going to count my rise, my run now. I know my answers, my slope right here is going to be negative. So I go down 3, so 1, 2, 3, that's my rise. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is my my run. Now I'm looking for a line that's parallel, so the slope parallel will be negative 3 over 5. Notice none of mine are like that. I have some decimals. So let's put it in our calculator, see what negative 3 over 5 is as a decimal. So negative 3 divided by 5, press the SD. I get that that's equal to negative 0.6. So my answer for this problem is D. Oh. Alright, so because I'm just looking for a line that is parallel, not necessarily this line, okay? And I know all I needed to find was the one with the slope of negative 0.6. Okay. So, what is the missing reason for the proof? So, we're talking about parallel lines here. We're looking at angles 3 and 5, saying they're supplementary. We know they're supplementary because of their same side interior angles. So this is the same side interior angles theorem. You'll have to write all the words to get the answer right on the homework. Don't just on the review submission. Do not just put the letters, please. You will not get credit. All right, and that's this one. That's this video. If you have any questions with this, please send me an email. Thanks, guys.